Hello, welcome back everybody. This is episode 7 of Arc 3 of Better Than Heroes. I'm Rachel Weeks and I play Klik, the Kreen fighter.
I'm Andrew Ovredahl and I play the human bard / warlock Flute, aka the Windrider.
I'm Jordan Dahl and I play the Moonboy, a level 9 Moonboy.
I'm Aaron Urist and I play K.A.I Hammerstein, the Artificer.
And I'm Harlan Kelly, the Dungeon Master of this game, and I play everybody else.
Hey everybody, before we jump into the game, wanted to say a few things. One,
It's going great. Power through.
Hell yeah.
I've been moving for 2 days. It's 80 degrees in my
Yes.
apartment. I'm so sorry.
You are strong.
We stand at a precipice. We're at 950 followers on Twitch and would love to hit the big 1K. So I just wanted to remind you that if you are not following the channel already, to hit the follow button for us. We appreciate it very much. It seems like a little thing, but it actually helps us out a whole lot.
It could be you. You could be 1K.
Yeah, Mr. 1K.
Or Mrs.
Or Miss.
1K will never be one.
Or horse.
Nice
I
try,
don't know.
Jordan.
Horse 1K.
That's the future.
There's a couple of horses in the audience.
Look,
Man, I hope there's
we had
a horse
number of
following
horse. We had a number of horse-oriented jokes. We could have picked up a following. We don't know.
True.
If there are horses in the audience, they're going nuts right now.
Look,
Please,
I
if you're
follow
a horse,
exclusively
cheers.
horses on Instagram, so it's my dream to have a horse here.
Hell
Hello. Thank you. You don't have to do a thing. You don't even hit the follow button. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna play.
Still on.
So,
Still on.
Yeah. We're live. Hi. We're gonna play some Spelljammer inspired 5e D&D tonight. Our show is live soundtracked by Jason Wardell. You can hear the keys behind me. It is directed by Case Drury of Tiger Moon Productions. And it is brought to you by our patrons and our subscribers. So if you love the show and you want to see it continue to grow and improve, please consider supporting the show financially. It goes straight towards these awesome people that make the show possible. If that is impossible for you right now financially, we totally understand. And I just ask that you tell your friends and your family and anybody, your weird coworker who wears a D&D shirt. You don't know. Maybe he'd love us. Or she'd love us. Or the horse coworker
Or the horse.
would love us. We're looking at building a horse
inherently
following.
designate that they are a horse.
Yeah. If you have a horse coworker,
Nay.
please.
Nay. Not to make light of people's pronouns.
Yeah, dear God. And now for last week's recap.
Oh God. All right.
Yeah, your turn.
Aaron, clean this shit up.
Last time on Better Than Heroes, with just one Mind Flayer and his squadron of thralls left on board the Nautiloid, the crew battled on. K.A.I was ejected from the ship's helm just in time to come to Flute's aid. Klik leapt upon the remaining Illithid first mate with fury. Horribly wounded, he escaped, shifting to another plane of existence. The Kreen and the Kuo-Toa thralls were freed, but the dwarves remained enthralled. As it turned out, they had horrible brain monsters in their heads called intellect devourers, which wriggled free and attacked. Gross! One of the monsters got instantly pancaked, and the rest were destroyed as they tried to flee. K.A.I re-entered the helm and gained control after a brief encounter with the Illithid hive mind center, known as the Cortex. With the Nautiloid captured, the party interrogated Lord Asodo, who had surrendered. He revealed that 2 more Nautiloids were hunting the Dinger and claimed that the Illithids were not responsible for the happenings in Klik's homeland. Where am I? Here we are. It appeared that Asono had successfully bargained for his life, but suddenly Windrider decapitated the captive Mind Flayer, angering Klik, violating her warrior's code of honor. The freed Kreen regained their senses and gave Klik grim news from her homeland of Jadurian, which they had been trying to escape when they were captured. The Meridian Tract, along with a group called the Arcane, were using the bodies of dead Kreen, desecrating them in some mysterious effort to combat the Undying Queen. Not only that, but the Elder Council of the Tohr-Kreen had been compromised and were allowing these unthinkable acts to happen. Though the Kreen and the fish people had been saved, the crew lamented the fallen dwarven slaves who had been debrained. But upon closer inspection, they found that these poor folk, though motionless upon the deck, were somehow still alive. Double gross. Can these dwarves be saved? And what of Jadurian? And who is the Undying Queen? Find out right now on Better Than Heroes.
Okay, cool. Hi, hello, we're back. Hi. Hi. Okay, so we find the crew split between two ships right now, as K.A.I is on the Nautiloid, at the helm of it, wiggling the front tentacles of this huge ship around. And I believe the rest of all three of you were on the other ship, yes?
No, I stayed with K.A.I.
Okay, you stayed with K.A.I. That's right, because you were
in case he
investigating the
needed-
dwarves.
And in case he needed a quick escape back to the dinger.
Okay, cool. That's right. So yeah, we have Moonboy and Klik. You are back on your wounded, beat up golden ship, the Dinger. K.A.I and Flute, you are on the Nautiloid, and you are kind of in this grove of sorts in these green, twisted root canals that are all around you, that are in this like outer layer of garden. What are you all doing?
I think I'd get on the Rocky-Talkie with the select all button and be like,
Lord Soto said there's 2 more nautiloids in the area searching for us, so the faster we can get these ships repaired and be on our way, the better.
Yeesh, I forgot that.
Sort
I'll
of
turn
sitting
to
ducks
Goat
to try to
and-
make... Go ahead.
I'll turn to Goat and ask what the diagnosis is on the Dinger.
She looks at you and like looks at the ship. She's like, "Oh boy, this is gonna be a rough one. It's gonna take a little bit of time to patch this thing up. It ripped a pretty big hole in the side of the ship. I'd say maybe if I works through the night, I could get it done in 8 hours, around there. By morning."
It's not a luxury we have, but
Am I here
8
with
hours
them?
it's gonna take. 8 hours it is.
Yeah, you can be, absolutely. She's like, and she says I mean, the ship will move right now. It just has limited mobility. So,
I think I can maybe. I'm not an incredible illusionist, but I've seen it done here and there, and with enough time, I could probably give us cover if it comes to that. But as long as we stay still and we hide our succulent brains and their thoughts.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to work on this ship with all of our brains concealed.
That's true.
We also have a second ship now.
Yeah.
she says, the ship will move, but we're not going to be doing any fleeing. If another ship shows up, we're not going to be able to agilely run away. So just, factor that in, kind
Well, we're not going to get a chance to do much running anyway. They're
Are we
hard
better
to
off
outpace these nautiloids. I'll turn to the group of Kreen and say, are any of you smiths? Have any of you craftsmen? That's like sort of what my people do.
So Calatoon, the younger, she's older than you. You know, she's not a young Kreen, but she's definitely younger than the other two, who are smaller and just like look a little frailer. And Calatoon is like, kind of says to you in Green, I can help. I'm not an expert, but I can definitely pitch in. And the two, she looks over, Calatoon looks over at the other two Kreen. She's like, aunties, and they're like, yes, we're down to pitch in. One of them says, oh, I will pitch. I will do some pitching. The other auntie says as well. Then they both kind of like put their arms up and they're like, we're able. We can help here. And
Many hands make light work.
we've got a lot of them, and all three of them put up their forearms. Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea to get into a possible another scuffle with a nautiloid with a damaged ship. We risk the rest of the crew if it gets destroyed.
That's true.
Perhaps we could leave them here and try to cloak it, and I don't like the idea of leaving them in these tunnels. They'll get attacked whether we're on the ship or not.
Wait, leave who here?
Leave the
Could we
dinger
hear
and
this-
we take the nautiloid.
This
Oh.
convo?
Yeah, I'm turning to you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, and you
we're
all
on
are.
another-
So,
we're on a
I would be
different
on the Rocky Talkie for this. Yeah.
Oh.
That's true.
Well, at least we have a ship that can protect the dinger while it's being repaired. Maybe some of those Kuo-Toa would come back and man these ballistas again as free fish.
This is the Starman here. K.A.I, can you, since you're plugged into the squid ship, are you able to maybe see where the other squid ships are?
I think I probably might be able to, but it's possible that then they would be able to see us.
Yes, that sounds super dangerous, but I mean, if anyone could do it, I think it would be you.
I could try if we feel that it's worth it, but it could blow our location.
I think we should wait till the dinger's repaired, just in case we attract them.
When I was inside the helm just before, this ship was close to me and the others were nowhere to be seen. So perhaps they're not close? But I couldn't say for sure. I don't know that much about this mind flare technology.
Okay, why don't... I'm tired. Is anyone else tired? This is the Moonboy, by the way. I'm the Starman. That's my handle.
I mean, we could... The way I see it, our options are to sort of circle the wagons, make repairs, and try to recover ourselves and our ships. Or we can try to bomb it all the way to Judorian. Or we can try to, as Klik said, potentially leave the dinger here and travel to Judorian aboard the Nautiloid. But that seems
mean-
dangerous.
I mean, bombing
They
it
all
to-
seem dangerous.
Bombing it to Judorian is a cool name for an episode. But
That's true.
It's dangerous. Taking two ships, one of
too
them
dangerous.
terrifying, onto an enemy planet with an unknown
well,
force.
honestly, if anything, that gives us sort of an edge, right?
I don't think so.
This thing's kind of a terrifying hot rod. Look at it.
Mind flayers are rarely a welcome sight, no matter what race you are.
So nobody's gonna mess with us.
We could
What if
I
we
don't know,
use
do
this?
graffiti all over it or something.
That's true. That would make it even more BA.
What if we leave it as is, and we make it look like we're chasing the dinger, to Jadorian.
Oh.
If those mind flayers show up, we'll have the drop on them because they'll think they're joining a chase.
My God.
It's possible that they already know that the ship has been lost.
That's right, that one got away.
Yes,
That
I'm
one
sure.
got away, and plus that cortex thing inside the helm saw me for sure.
I'd like to think that if I lost part of my brain, I would know about it.
I think the chance is too great. I think we hunker down and set up some defenses and continue on.
If you feel that Jadorian can spare the time, Klik, that seems like it would be the safest for our crew, but
I cannot risk this family for one that cast me out. I'm bound to help, but
and besides, if something happens to us on the way there, help
There's
isn't
no
going to
help
arrive
coming.
anyhow.
Well, there it is. Klik's never steered us wrong. I trust her when it comes to things of this nature.
I
Sounds
turn
good
to
to me.
Goat and say, well, show us what to do.
Okay, and Goat's like, yeah, okay, well, you all, she says, come with me. We're gonna get down off of the ship, and we're gonna try and harvest some wood from these roots. I'm pretty sure they're roots, branches, whatever. And they all the Kreen line up, and they're like, yep, can do. I haven't done wood chopping in years. And they kind of like follow her down as they're going to try and harvest resources to be able to patch the ship. As you all have repaired it a few times here and have not had a moment to, besides it getting fixed at the cove that you were previously in, the dock there, don't have too many backup supplies at this point. And so I would love
I love that we're
for-
just slapping
I-
some
can I
green
make a-
wood onto our golden ship.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Listen,
I bet that we could use our new heavy machinery to help with gathering wood.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to sort of hover the Nautiloid down towards one of the sides of the bramble cave that we're in and use the tentacles to tear up some wood.
Okay, absolutely. I'm gonna have you do a strength check, and you can add +5 to that.
Strength, okay. 9. This
Yeah.
thing sucks!
Yeah,
It's
Kai,
like
you.
one of those claw machines, just actually I can't really grab anything.
I can't, it feels like, like I'm wearing giant gloves. I hate it.
In fact, when you connect with the ship through your arcane energy, as you're at the helm here, and you have these, you feel like you have tentacles at your face, and you think about moving them forward and reach down and grab some of these big roots at the bottom. It's like trying to pull a rope underwater, where you just end up like pulling your body toward it, where you're just pulling the ship closer to the wall there. Like, it's hard for you to get leverage as a ship and pull the actual roots out. And Goat, it's like, oh, I got it. And it's like,
No,
don't hurt yourself, Kai.
Damn it. God. Stupid.
she's stunting on you.
No, you're just getting used to it. It's fine. I don't want to unlock anything weird. Who knows what's in there? And she just like takes the saw, and one of the other Kreen, one of the ants grabs the other side, and she's like, don't worry, honey, we got it. We got this one. And she like clicks at you in green, and they just start sawing off boards here. It's gonna take them about like 40 minutes, let's say, to get enough planks to contribute to what they have there and patch up the ship enough where there's not noticeable damage. There's not. They need to like repair and like basically place stints for some of the mass. And so yeah, they are down there doing that. If you all have other things you would like to do, kind of like in this 45 minute period, you absolutely can.
I was gonna ask. I'll get on the Rocky Target.
Moonboy, can you see if you can convince those Kuatoa to come back over and man these ballistas in case anyone shows up?
Copy that, Skywalker.
Well, we're getting sued. Thank you.
Legally distinct Skywalker.
Sky Space Walker.
There's a
Walker
hyphen.
W-O-K, like the...
Yes.
Yeah, Flute, you see the three fish folk kind of just like standing all around a barrel, and they look very nervous and are kind of like just like all tapping their fins together, wide-eyed and looking around. They look, these like smaller and like skinnier fish, and they're like more elongated than the other Kuatoa you met, and they're just like, when you walk up to them, they kind of shrivel a little bit and then look at you. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's Moonboy, not
Yeah.
Windrider. But
And the moon boy walks up to them and he's like,
Right, you three. My friend, the Windrider, is a great Kuatoa god known as the Sinker, and he wants you to go over there and reman those harpoons. You are now in the command of the Sinker. He watches over you, he sends his blessing, and he guides you.
Kuatoa.
and I'm gonna bless them as I say this.
Okay, cool.
I will
Hell
give them
yeah.
bless.
Oh my gosh! All right, roll a persuasion check here with
Okay.
advantage. It's not even a deception check because I know that like Moonboy believes this, right? Like,
Absolutely. He was there.
yeah.
He saw the
Okay.
whole thing.
Yeah.
All right, that's a 15 on the die. Let's see if we can do a little better. 15. It was 15.
All right, cool.
And that was
Yeah.
the only number that ever was rolled.
All right. Well, since there's a lot of truth to this, you have rescued fishfolk from a nautiloid before, and they really bonded with Flute in your past adventures. They looked to him as the thing that saved them, that brought their consciousness back, and so they did begin to worship him and manifest powers themselves because of their faith in Flute. And so when you hear this and when you say this to them and you cast bless and the magic actually washes over them, they look at you and they're like, a god, a fish folk god has come here to save us.
That's right.
But what?
That's right. He freed
we've never-
others on a
we've
ship
never even
just
heard
like
of this
He
guy.
sank it. That's what he does. He frees people from ships like this.
By sinking his enemies?
Yes, except when he doesn't. In this case, he saved the ship. He is the floater.
Floater is a poop.
Yeah.
You can't call him.
I know what I'm doing. Klik.
Here's the stinker, the sinker, the
The
floater.
Fine, the stinker.
No, they all look at you and go, the floater. And he wants us to do what?
He wants you to go over to those harpoons, just like you did for those wretched. We won't even talk about them on the other ship, but it's now under new command, the command of the Sinker / the Floater, the Windrider. And you're going to protect us for him and for yourselves.
They nod and they're like, we will protect this new god because he believes in fish folk
That's right.
and no one does.
He does.
I
No
hate
one
you so
believes.
much, Jordan. I hate
About
you.
them.
I hate you.
Ask him to sing a song about you when you get there. He loves to do it.
Andrew, I just want you to know I wasn't going to do this to you, but I get to now. So
This is how they know you.
I'm just teasing. It's fine.
Oh, they have.
Teasing, he means it.
Yeah, they have no knowledge. It seems like they have no knowledge of the sinker outside of you sharing it with them, but they are now fully engaged.
Everyone knows about the sinker in their hearts.
When when you walk, Flute, when you greet them or just like see them come over and kind of like walk toward these this platform here.
I think I can immediately tell what Moonboy has done.
Glimmering with the blessings of the moon.
Just under my breath, I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
I think you even, if you look over to the other boat, you see Moonboy like waving like big thumbs up.
He's like, they are fully, they believe in you. I tricked them again.
Oh no.
And, yeah, as soon as they all bow to you in unison and go, the sinker, the floater.
No, you've been misled. I'm sorry. Let me set the record straight. Moonboy's a little daft, and has it a bit confused. Turns out I was not a worthy god, but there is a worthy god on this ship. The crafted one, the one who mans the helm.
and I'll point up toward the helm where the purple light is escaping through the doorway. I'll be like,
He's
What's
up
that
there
now?
even now. Nothing, Kai. I'm just gonna show them how to work the ballistas. It's called the crafted one.
Roll a persuasion check here, just straight up.
Wow.
that would be a 19.
My God.
Well, I rolled with advantage because this is round 2 for them being told us, and my first roll was a natural 1, and my second roll was a natural 20.
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
But don't they
The
want to
sinker
believe?
floats.
Wow.
Luckily, though, for you, Andrew, they have a -1 in this situation.
Oh my gosh. So we roll again?
No, so I'm saying it's like setting the DC, and you hit the DC for
Okay,
that,
okay.
so you
Wow.
are successful here, because they are not the wisest gang
It would
of
stand
fish
a
folk here.
reason.
Yeah.
That if-
And
if-
Flute deep down feels bad the way he had to treat the other group of Kuatoa. He doesn't want to have to do something like that again.
Yeah, you didn't do anything bad to them. You just banished them away by force because you didn't want them to.
Terrifies them.
That sounds bad though.
Yeah,
Yeah, I used magic to scare them and make them think that I was like the worst thing they'd ever
Yeah.
met. I don't know.
It was a full.
Well, now
Harry
I'm
and
doing it
Heather
to Kai,
sense.
and I'm pointing up at them.
He's very kind, but just do as he asks.
Right then, the Moonboy clicks over the radio.
Windrider, did you get the disciples that I said to you? They think that
I'm like turning down whatever the volume is on that. Like,
devoted to you and only you.
How many of these ballistas can you three run? Just one, or more than one?
We can only run one because it takes one of us to reload and one of us to shoot.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
1.5.
One of you can't just run between them and reload them for 2 shooters?
Yes, it would take us. It basically takes them. It takes 2 actions to. It takes an action to load and an action to shoot. So he could like switch, but there's always one that's going to take another
Okay.
action there.
all right.
Well, can you make sure these are in working order? I know that we were trading
Yeah,
shots.
I blew up one of them.
Okay.
All right, do you need anything to eat? Do you need anything to eat or drink?
Yes, that would be wonderful. We were just kept alive before.
I'll get Larakitaki back out and turn up.
Moonboy, yeah, we need some food and water over here for the Kuatoa. Thanks, Klik.
No, you gotta use my code name.
And then once they're doing that, I want to go check on these dwarves, these creepy, unconscious, brainless dwarves.
Oh, right.
All right.
That are
Which I kind
alive?
of skipped over. But they were, they're unconscious. I guess I was kind of waiting to see if there would be a development. What are their
Yeah,
vital
I-
signs?
I would have, like, gotten out of the helm to check on them, but I don't think you ever told me that they were alive.
I think I did tell you at the end of the last episode.
Nope,
maybe?
pretty sure you didn't.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you did, but let's say you didn't.
I thought that's what we had left on, but yeah, I'll go back up and what are the vitals on these dwarves?
So
They're all dead now.
I mean, they're all breathing. They're all seem to be fine, except they are
Brains
just
came out.
their eyes are open, and they are just laying there, like relaxed on the ground. But they're breathing. They're alive.
Do they respond to stimuli if I snap my fingers or do the fake out eye poke?
The old
Give me a little
fake
bit more
out
description
eye-
of what you're doing. Hold on.
I'm going.
that's not
it's
a
like as
thing.
close to the eye as I can to see if they flinch.
Hello? Who's the president?
Nope. There's no reaction.
Kai, can you see this? And some kind of
Yeah, what are you doing to those corpses?
I'm not doing it. They're not corpses. They're alive.
Why are you practicing close-up magic on those dead dwarves?
No,
Oh, they're alive?
they're breathing.
That's incredibly fucked up. All right,
They-
I
but they're-
will. I will. I guess I'll hop out of the helm. I'll
hold them out, like,
No, don't. Isn't there a risk every time you connect? Don't you have to
Oh.
fight your way on in there?
I think that the cortex is gone for good, but maybe I'm going to need to do a little more exploration in the mind, in the illithid psychospace, probably. I could do that now.
I don't know what to do with. Maybe Moonboy could bring over some of his magic plants. But Moonboy, these dwarves are still alive on the Nautiloid. Maybe you could
Sorry.
bring over some of those plants.
Sorry, there's no Moonboy here. Try again.
Yeah, right, Star Lad, or what?
Close enough. Yeah, I could probably whip something together. I will say I'm probably going to be much more use to everyone if I get a little sleep in. I am.
Yeah? Feeling a little cranky?
Several toes are broken, and I'm missing a tooth. I had it in my pocket. If anyone sees a tooth, I bring it with me for good luck.
Oh, I keep a few of your teeth on me just in case.
Thank you. I'll need that back. I think I could probably help them. I don't know. If
In case K.A.I dies in an explosion, they think it's Moonboy.
You've
Right.
discovered my plan.
That's like a John
they're not
Grisham
gonna
novel. Sorry.
They're not going to get confused by the entire metal body part.
Oh no.
There was
there
a
were teeth,
moon gnome in here.
So
the
it
whole-
must be a gnome.
Yeah, I'm almost out of magic myself. I could use some sleep.
I don't think we should bring them over to the dinger. I don't know. It's weird, right? It's weird, right?
Yeah,
I am-
all their brains crawled out and attacked us.
Yeah,
so,
that was-
Yeah, they should stay
let's-
right here.
Or maybe there's a place. Is there, Kai? Is there a holding cell on the U? The U?
I think so.
You're the ship now?
The SS Kai.
Yes.
Dungeon Master? I can see throughout all of the ship, right?
Yes, absolutely. So, I think that you are going, in order to get more information about the ship that you don't have, although you can see all around it, you don't see anything that is like just by visual looks like some sort of holding chamber, but you absolutely can do a Arcana check to try and delve into the ship a bit.
Sure.
Even like a med bay, Aaron.
I'm going to do
Just a
that.
closet with a door that locks from the outside.
Let me. Mind flayers aren't big on closets. They don't have traditional wardrobe.
Sure, they got
I mean,
big
you gotta
horror
mop up. There's like
closets.
brains and tadpole juice and slime. You tell me there's not a janitor's
Just-
closet on this
It
puppy?
seems like they've embraced it all as part of the sort of
Just-
nautiloid ecosystem.
Just look for a suitable place for whatever horrifying thing is going to happen with these guys to take place.
Sure. I guess I'm going to sort of, look into the code of the nautiloid, looking for holding cell EXE.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Do that Arcana check. Tell me what you get.
Hachi Machi, that's a natural 20, my man.
There it
Look
is!
at
man.
you. So that ends up to be
You
what?
want the total?
I do
Yes.
want the total.
Uno
As you're
momento.
delving into something completely new to you. Even though you are an expert in magical things, this is very alien technology.
That's a 29. I'm going
Okay.
to go ahead and use a flash of genius to, as I sort of, look with my mind through the helm to analyze the sort of magical psychic code that comprises the helm's relationship to the ship at large. I'm just going to crack it open like an egg, like Neo. And
Yeah.
it's going to be a 34.
Holy shit. Just a reminder to everyone that you can only roll a 20 and you still 14 over that.
Roll 2d20. Give us what? Almost double crits.
Okay, so yeah, you have had earlier, you went inside of an infernal machine of sorts and was able to poke around into the DNA code of that. That was also brand new technology of sorts to you as well, and you got far in there. So you are just, when you connect to the ship, you are nimbly moving about it, even though you're having trouble being a captain, being a pilot here, and figure out things like pulling branches off of the walls with the tentacles. As far as you...
That was before.
But yeah, that was as far as you...
I'm gonna change the whole tentacle setting to hands and just like I'm gonna get in there and jailbreak this thing and make it way more K.A.I friendly.
Well, the Nautiloid is playing Angry Birds, the Android version.
Oh, I've got games on this thing.
One of the things I will tell you is that, you now can see all throughout the ship. You see, you could before, but now it's almost like they're labeled in your mind, as you aren't just communing with the ship as far as seeing throughout it, but you are able to talk to it a bit, not verbally, but it gives you information about it as you are going throughout the ship. You see on the second floor, where at the top of the stairs here, there's like a door that forms and just opens itself, and there's a purple glowing pool in the back there. On the second level underneath you see this like stone tablet with 6 chairs around it, and immediately you can feel a connection with them, with the energy that you are touching the chair with, and that more casters could sit in those chairs to also be spell jamming along with you, which makes sense with mind flayers, how they kind of share consciousness and are able to telepathically connect here. That it makes sense that on a Spelljammer ship built for mind flayers, that maybe multiple minds could connect to it. And you also the walls, the kind of warm, dark, red, glowing walls that surrounded Klik when she and Moonboy when they ran in from the open mouth area of the nautiloid, the kind of opening of the shell that is the largest, widest opening on the ship. In those walls, you feel 8 doors open on each side, but doors is a very lenient term here. It's
Fleshy
more
doors.
it's more like a fleshy lid just peels itself back. And
Cloacas.
Like in what's the thing that's on top of the aorta? Like that flap?
A
One of
valve.
those.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
some kind of
glottal.
valve. The glottal.
yeah.
valve.
Yeah.
The Quetzalcoatl.
None of these are better than fleshy.
And
Sphincter.
you get a kind of like a worried tremble in the back of your head when these doors open, because it seems like these are chambers for you just get like a whiff of horror from them, and it is where the dwarves were kept before, because that is where the brains grew inside of them. These like
Horrifying.
intellect devourers. Yeah.
Eh.
But you could keep them in there, and it would just serve as like
No.
there's a level of like sustain, like they're built to sustain life as well. You can tell, so it
Well-
would keep them alive if they were kept in there.
I mean, is it going to regrow brains and then?
I think I'm going. Can K.A.I do a couple of things while he's in here? You can stop me if I'm like going too far.
Okay, tell me what you want to do.
I think first thing that happens is K.A.I sort of pushes his consciousness out and starts sort of lightly rewriting some of this magical code. The sickly purple glow that's been all around this mind flare vessel changes to the pleasant blue light which shines from K.A.I.'s eyes and the keyhole in the center of his body. That happens first. I also want to like try and really crank up the temperature in some of those rooms and just like burn off some of the mind flare nastiness.
Yeah, there's no temperature controls on the ship, but you absolutely
Why?
can change
No
the
AC?
color here.
Bullshit.
As
This
you
is like one of those new Ford Focus STs. You can change the interior lights.
I want to have you. Well, you know what? Only because you rolled over a friggin' 30
Yeah,
on your last Arcana check, I'm
I
gonna
feel
let
like
you.
that would maybe give me the ability to try to do other stuff by making another check, perhaps?
Yeah, so you can change the lights automatically, because you rolled over a 30, I will tell you. You seem to know that the rooms take a. They're not like if the dwarves are put back in there, a new brain, this like new brain creature is not just going to grow inside of them. It takes like a seed, a bit for it to start growing and devouring brain. So if you
I'm
put
more
them
just-
in there, they would not be harmed by
Right.
like the residue.
I don't want to put them back in there, because that's awful and traumatic for them, I imagine. What I was going for was more just trying to get started on, like, redoing the floors in this place. Getting it not being so horrible and alien.
I think
Change the wallpaper.
it is not a shape-changing vehicle as much as it can move, especially in this hallway. It seems you can it's like putty a bit, where you could, if you wanted to, you can maybe provide a seat or a bed or an alcove. You know,
Alright.
it's more of moving space around
But
here,
it's
and
still
you
gonna be
absolutely
in the mouth of a squid.
and
All right.
another piece of me saying this is I just absolutely want you to redecorate a nautiloid, and at some point, but it doesn't automatically change to be that. But
Right.
you definitely can get somewhere with shifting things around, and color is definitely one thing.
Understood. All right. How about this? I do the color, but I actually do want to try to integrate more effectively the Nautiloid systems and my presence. Does that make sense?
How?
I want to do it by, again, sort of like going in and changing that magical psychic code that comprises the sort of fabric of the helm and the magical workings. This may take time. This may be a bigger ask than like a right now thing.
Yeah.
But at the very least, K.A.I wants to try.
So are you trying to give me more of like what you're trying to end up doing, or like what is the next step you want to take here with
K.A.I wants to-
undoing this
okay.
energy?
Specifically, it doesn't even have to have a mechanical expression right now, but I think K.A.I wants to sort of change the operating system hack the OS of the Nautiloid in order to just make it less horribly alien and aberrant in there and more hospitable for K.A.I.
Okay, cool. I think the number one way you do that is you can just brighten up the place. It seems like the eyes that are on the side of the Nautiloid that is letting light in through this like red filter can like the lids can be opened. So there are these like 2 balconies on each side of it as well, and those doors can be opened so that natural light is coming in here. So it now looks more like an old church than like a spooky inside of a monster's stomach. And it does light up the place, and with this switch to like a blue glow mixing in there, you just have more of a serene ocean effect, as the walls are still a little wobbly. You know, there still is this undulation throughout the Nautiloid, this big shell ship, but you absolutely can, you know, open the drapes metaphorically and kind of physically as well. Yeah.
So I guess basically K.A.I throws open all the windows and puts in some more pleasant light bulbs.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Make it a little nicer.
You do get 2 things out of this too. Again, because you rolled so high, I will just flip this information over. There does seem to be something living in the purple glowing pool. Like, as all this light changes, there's something in the purple glowing pool that does not change. It does not seem to be a part of the ship. And you can see into it that there's just like a wriggle, a couple of different wriggles in this like thick liquid pool on the top, like in the space across from the top of the stairs there. And there's one other piece of information I was going to tell you that I think I already told you. You have the Spelljammer level there too that kind of like lets you link as well.
Before I ask anybody else to deal with this, is it possible to sort of go in internally and like fuck up the pH on this Mindfair tadpole tank so that they just die?
No, because it doesn't seem to let you interact with it. You know, like the water is not a part of the ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flute, Windrider, what are you today? Flute?
Both?
All right, Flute Rider, there is a down below decks. There's a horrifying pool with mind flare tadpoles in it. If you have a moment, would you mind purging that with flame?
Right, there was one on the other ship as well.
Yes, I would feel more comfortable if those were not alive.
All right, I'll go have a look. Should I tie up these dwarves?
I mean, camera cut to them all lying, lifeless looking on the ground. I guess?
I'll tie their feet together and kind of daisy chain them all tied up by their feet, so if they get up, at least they'll
So they don't roll anywhere?
Yeah, or wander off or whatever.
That was
fun for you.
And then I'll go take a look at this tank, which I saw in the other Nautiloid, with these creepy-ass tadpoles in it.
Yeah, and you recognize them. There are tadpoles wriggling around in this thick purple liquid. You can see it's kind of like glowing in this area as well, lighting up, and you can just see prickles at the front of them that are kind of like grasping. One of them like latches onto another one and tries to eat it, but it like wriggles away, and they're all just kind of avoiding each other, but seem to be moving in sync current as well.
I'm going to take off my wide leather belt, and I'm going to fasten it around my head over my ears. After seeing an intellect devourer come out of one of these dwarfs' ears. Does it look like there's any way to drain this tank? Do I see any means that might drain it? It's open at the top, correct? Like you can.
Yeah.
It's like pet the stingrays at the aquarium kind of shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you touch them with your bare hands, Andrew?
No, I don't. I was just providing the analogy. I don't. But here is what I am going to do. Is there any means to drain the tank that I could see, obviously?
Roll investigation check.
18.
There is some inscription written on the side in a language you do not recognize, but you can tell that it's magic.
I can tell that what? The inscription is magic?
The inscription is magic. So it seems like it has magical runes in a language that you do not recognize at all on the sides of it.
K.A.I, that has some sort of magical runes on this. Can you see them from where you are?
Yeah, I got that. Do I know what language it is?
You do not know this language, but I know that you have the ability to...
I do.
Yeah, tell us the ability again. Or just give it to us flavor-wise. If you want to.
Basically, by sort of extrapolating the crypto patterns of language, K.A.I's able to sometimes read languages that he doesn't necessarily know and even extrapolate them enough to be able to speak them on the fly. But he has to make an Arcana check to do it.
Yeah, so make that Arcana check.
That is going to be a 19.
All right, with that, you... looking at it through the vision of the ship, because you are connected with the Spelljammer helm, you can see all throughout the ship, and kind of Google mapping your view over to this purple pool. You see this very odd, just like curling language, and as you start to magically decipher it, you can just hear the thoughts in your head. It's like me when I'm trying to read a very hard word, and I'm just like saying it to myself over and over again in like different ways. And as you're doing that, you actually hear a voice that sounds like that kind of whispery telepathy that you recognize as Mind Flayer, as you would recognize as a Mind Flayer's voice. And you just have this memory. You can see the vision of the pool being filled with some sort of contents of a glass jar, and it's like being telepathically opened, telekinetically opened. Excuse me, no one get upset. And like poured into here, and the jar just kind of like disperses itself along the edge, and becomes these runes that you see here, and you recognize that if you were to command it in this Mind Flayer language that seems to be more of passing of a thought, that you could get the jar to reform with the contents in it.
Ooh. I guess I'll try to figure that out. I don't know what's going to happen if I fail this one.
Roll an Arcana check and we'll find out.
Definitely
Perhaps
not
I
standing
can
by
parse
the
together.
edge of the door.
Yeah, Flute, you might want to get clear a little bit.
I'll go stand in the doorway.
And the door closes behind you as you walk through it. After you walk through it.
Yeah, there's a... as the door closes.
That's my second
Gross.
natural 20 of the night, everybody.
Damn it, Aaron.
Yeah.
This ship is ours, Harlan. Admit it.
Dude,
Holy shit.
I have fully admitted it to myself that somehow you all have a non-alloyed again, and this is just now a campaign where you have two spell jamming ships and one of them's a non-alloyed.
One of them's a non-alloyed.
But it's a cute one.
It's a
It
cute one.
is.
I'm going all
We're gonna
Martha
spru-
Stewart on this
We're
thing.
gonna spruce it up.
Yeah, Chris Perkins, please don't be disappointed in me if you're watching this. So you see as you think this, just there's swirl, this almost like glass shards come out of the runes and put themselves back together in a jar form. And as they're doing it, the jar is like upside down, and the liquid is just upside down tornadoing into the jar and pulling the tadpoles up with it as they're wriggling like salmon up a stream, and they're just pulled into this jar, and a lid forms itself and seals itself over the top, so it is just a glass capsule now that is floating in the air and sets itself down on the floor there.
I think it
kind
worked.
of. Can I see through the fleshy membrane of the door?
Absolutely, you can.
Yeah, I'm sort of just watching in horror and awe.
Yeah,
You did
I
it.
guess
It's back. It's in a jar.
Nice.
I mean, it's kind
Did
of
it.
kind of a handy weapon. We could put this in one of those tentacles and throw it onto somebody's ship.
Sure, if we want to destroy a planet.
Can we just
Horrible
paint a can
bioweapon?
of peanuts on the outside of it? You know?
Yeah, I guess I'll come back in the room and take a look at this jar.
Great. I also want to make sure that you know that there are, because I'm now going to skip past it with over 30, that you have this jar. There's also a desk here that's like a very, like, just like a creepy stone arch in the side room next to the purple jar there, and a just kind of like plush pillows in the room with you as well. And
Nice
So-
throws.
you absolutely can investigate this jar.
Cool. Yeah, I'll kind of take a look. Does it look like I can remove the lid?
No.
Oh,
It has sealed itself,
doesn't
yeah.
unscrew.
I don't know how to get rid of them.
Is there an atmosphere outside the spheres of our Spelljammers where we are right now?
No, you're on a planet now, so you're inside the atmosphere of the planet.
Okay.
I'd say we could throw them into wild space, but I
Or
don't
just
know.
like
What do
heat
you
it up.
think we should do?
We could heat it up really, really hot.
Yeah. But
Or
once the
something.
glass shatter, do you have a big pot back on the dinger? I could just bring this jar over there and boil them.
That might work, or it might free them all. I don't know. Let's think about it.
I could try to poison them, but I need to open the jar first.
Opening the
What's
jar
up?
doesn't
We got
feel
a
like
raid
a
from
good idea.
Nerdworks Media. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Yeah.
friends.
We're trying to figure out
Trying
how
to-
to boil baby mind flayers. Is
Oh,
that
don't start now. Don't start now, Klik. They're not babies.
The
Yeah, I mean,
Moonboy.
yeah, they're young, but
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
believe it, but you were leaning on the button, and the Moonboy goes,
Couldn't help but hear there, Skywalker. Is the thing that is the big glass capsule resting in something made out of metal?
Is it? Is it just a glass jar?
It's just a glass jar. Yeah, it's a glass jar. It's like if you imagine a glass jar cut in half
right,
and
but you
sealed.
said it
Yeah.
came and sat down into something. What is that thing?
It has a flat bottom that it is,
see.
it is resting on. Yeah.
Is there any metal in the lid or anything?
Nope. No metal. It is a glass. It is like a glass bullet of sorts.
If you can
Aw,
find
snow globe?
If you can find a big flat piece of metal to put it on, I could heat it up, kill them, lickety split.
Yeah. I mean, you have an oven on the ship for sure. So.
Yeah.
I
I'm just
just-
worried
I
about the
don't
glass
feel-
exploding at the high temperature.
don't feel
Since the lid
comfortable
doesn't
using
open,
the
the
oven.
pressure would probably do that 100%. Sorry, what'd you say, Aaron?
Nothing. Nothing
Right.
important.
Well, Kai, where's the safest place to keep this jar?
Put it in. I'm going to open up one of the former dwarf pods.
Yes, you're gonna open the fleshy door. Absolutely.
I used to be in that
I
band
open the
too,
fresh door.
former dwarf
Go ahead
pod.
and set it in there.
Go on.
All right,
yeah,
I'll
so as you
very
walk it-
carefully.
Yeah, as you pick it up and walk it over, this just like wriggling, swirling, all of these. What you is very fair of you to assume are mind flayer larvae are just swirling around inside, all just kind of like tapping the edge and swirling at each other as well, getting this purple ooze, like doing the tornado inside of it. And you walk it over into this hallway that all the way around is just this fleshy material, and the door opens seemingly out of nowhere. And as you set it down in there, the room seems to just get smaller and kind of like hold it very gently as the door closes behind it, and it's just sits right there
I
inside.
hate it so much. I'm gonna take out my rapier and mark the door with like a big X.
I'm like, nobody go in the room with an X on the door.
Okay, cool. Kai, you can feel a blade slash across your chest as you feel the damage that the ship takes, even though you don't take damage.
Ow.
Sorry.
It's all right. I get what you were going for, and I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Well, with another one of my plot devices just totally swept out from under me, we're gonna cut here and take a break.
It's our plot device now.
So
We know about that tank. We were in the other nautiloid. I'm not getting close to that thing.
yeah, absolutely. Great
Take
job,
that
y'all.
plot device and put it in a closet.
Don't open that big
Nope.
plot device in there.
It was very nice of you, Harlan, not to make me roll a dex check to carry the jar over to the door.
I mean,
It was very kind.
Kai's
Very
got
kind.
control of the ship. You know, it's
It's all trampolines all around
yeah.
you.
although a flute moment where you're just like whoa is would be pretty
Oh
fun.
no, my
Yeah.
5 pizzas!
You've earned it. You've earned
I
it.
bobbled them.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break here. It's taking 5 minutes where we drink, pee, and then we'll see you on the other side. We drink, we do the act of drinking water, we do the act of peeing, and then we'll be right back with you to play a little more 5e Spelljammer. So thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us. We'll see you in just a second.
Drink pee.
It's not the order.
here we go. So you all are in this clearing of sorts on your way from the territory that is marked as the Cove of the Bones territory, the kind of like scouted out areas by the pirates that used to run the cove that you all came from. You all are heading toward the territory that is the palace of called the Palace of the Skull Goblin King, and you all have a nautiloid. You have these two ships here, and I think Gluck, the young Kreen who is Klik got to come, encouraged to come with him, comes out on deck and is just mauled almost by the three Kreen who are helping carrying boards up to the ship. Andrew's head just like popped up like I was starting a fight, and I was it's funny to me. But these three older Kreen just like tackle him, and they're like, Gluck! Oh my God, you little shithead! I'm so happy you're alive. They're like all talking at once, like, oh, you little. I tell you what, every time you get in trouble, you always get away with it. And they're just kind of like piling on him, and he's like, oh my God. Sorry, I choked on my own spit there a little bit.
It's a big moment.
You're getting in character for playing Kreen.
Yeah, and so yeah, to you, Moonboy, too. This is just a lot of chirping and clicking and hissing as them all very affectionately are just all over Gluck. And we do have the brand new art from Jordan-Dahl.
Yeah.
Wonderful character art for us for
See it.
Gluck here. I don't have it up on our Roll20, I'm sorry, but if you peek at the stream, you can see it.
Lean, mean, Team Green Kreen.
I'll drop it in
We
the
all
Discord, too.
decided is vaping a jewel.
Jordan did manage to make vapes canonical in our game, so it's some sort of arcane smoking device. Absolutely. Good work.
We tried a roll-up cigarette. We even tried kind of a weird Mos Eisley Cantina kind of pipe thing, and it just didn't look right. He looks right with this weird little little gadget.
I love it.
Is it? It's in Discord. Hi.
Yeah, I just dropped it in
Look at
Discord so you all can see it too. It's so good. I know.
Thank you.
What a cutie. Great job.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
good.
So and he's just like, he is also very happy. He's like, oh my, and they tell him as well. They share with him about how there were more Kreen that kind of followed up on the initiative to push back against what the elders of Judorian were doing, and you can see he's got this like energy about him from hearing this. He's kind of like happy to see friends he thought he would never see again, and he's amongst them very easily. He just seems comfortable among them, and he's like, yeah, so we're going, and he pulls out this little small glass orb that he has that you would recognize as a map, this like arcane map to map out three-dimensional space, and he shows you all that you have this pod of sorts, these three locations, and you are moving from the Cove of the Bones toward the Palace of the Skull Goblin King, so that you can move deeper down into Judorian, closer to Judorian. And if you all want to peek at your Roll20 here, you can see this map here. Case, if you want to throw up the map of the Cove of the Bones or the Skull Goblin King, both of them are present for the group to see. Just to show the amazing maps that Josh from Every Map a Story made for us of this. We had wonderful conversations about trying to map out a three-dimensional space.
Very cool.
So, so you all are kind of like in, like closer to around this territory, getting out of this, and you're moving toward the Palace of the Skull Goblin King. Do you want to leave this space, or are you all staying here through the night to make sure the ship is fixed to a degree before you get moving?
Yeah, I also think a lot of us could use a long rest.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I'm pretty hurt and almost totally out of spells.
Yeah. Klik is no psionic energy remaining. She is spent.
Okay, cool. So you all can set both of these. ships down in this space. It's difficult to dock both of them as there's no water in this area, but there is kind of like a fluctuation of terrain. So Andrew, why don't we have you make a dexterity check for Goliathan, the captain of your golden Spelljammer ship, and then Aaron, since you are captaining the Nautiloid, why don't you have Kai make a dexterity check as well to land this?
Does old Goliathan have any modifiers? Sorry,
Yes,
I cut
he
you
has a
off there,
+3.
Can I say that I have brought these fish people some food and rations,
Absolutely.
and am now on the other ship with them?
They say, thank you. Where do we sleep?
I will ask K.A.I.
Wonderful.
Probably here. Probably
could-
right here.
Could we not sleep on this ship? It is quite scary.
It is, isn't it? I will check in on that and come back.
Thank you.
Yes.
It feels wrong at this point, but I rolled another natural 20.
Oh my
I
God,
fucking
Aaron.
swear on my mother's life, that is 3 natural 20s.
Wow.
2 in a
How-
row.
Luckily, and for very important things. What? Are you
Right,
rolling the
yeah, they
same
were-
dice every time?
Yeah, I roll. Are you fucking kidding me? Of course I roll these dice every time.
This dice, I tell you what, it's a cozy gamer dice too, right?
It's a cozy
Cozy
gamer dice.
gamer, baby.
Cozy
I have the same dice
dice.
and not getting those results.
Okay. So
Arlen is going to sneak in the night and steal away with these.
They won't work for you. You think they'll work for you?
They
dude,
cannot
I
I'm
own
gonna
the
do
police.
this. I'm gonna get this dice. This is gonna happen.
they cannot
you
fall
should
into the
get them.
hands of the DM.
No, I'm gonna get that die.
No,
Write this
absolutely
movie
not.
about a DM that wants to break into somebody's house to steal their lucky dice because
wants-
they're sick of it.
We are
Always
dear
undoing their
friends.
plans.
We are dear friends, but I will defend this dice.
Yours is always at the hot hand. I played with Urist in person all the time.
He will
Got a hot hand.
He will
Hot hand.
defend the dice by rolling so high at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think you can? You think you can make a stealth check high enough to get these dice without the dice?
Oh,
Harlan?
we're talking about a roll off.
Roll up. God, like West Side Story
Cut
shit.
to. I was seeing straight up Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift
That's it.
in the street.
Oh my gosh, it's
It
just
is like
A murmur
Beyblade.
spreads through the bar. Roll off.
It's
We need
Aaron
to
and
roll
I
off
like
over there.
at his house, and me being like, "No, I rolled a 20. You have to look the other way. Look the other way. You have to pretend you can't see me." Okay, so you perfectly land this ship. The tentacles at the front of the Nautiloid gently wrap themselves around these giant roots, and it just softly lays itself down in this bed of
Like a
roots
cuttlefish.
and ivy and dirt.
I settle down
Itself into
so
a
gent-
bed of kelp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I settle
And-
down so gently, and then the tentacles go like this. They do little chef's
Yeah,
kiss.
that happens.
I get on the private channel to Moonboy.
I'm worried about what this ship is doing to K.A.I.
I think
Okay.
it's. I don't know. I like the ship.
The guy who
I
got
think the
hit
ship
points
should lead
from
us.
murdering someone last session. So
I have a question about the Nautiloid, actually. That it may
do?
present an avenue that may make you feel better about your life, Harlan, or maybe not. I don't know.
I feel
Do I
wonderful about
do
my
I
life.
think that I could? The Nautiloid's not our home. The Dinger is our home. Do I think it's possible to scavenge the Nautiloid for important parts that we could use to make serious upgrades to the Dinger?
Okay, big creepy golden tentacle fingers. Here we go.
Yeah. Are you asking me if you can put tentacles on the Dinger?
I'm not necessarily telling you what those changes should be, but yes.
You know that you could take apart this ship, I will say. And you know that if you were to do any modifications that are under the umbrella of shipbuilding, it would need to be at a dock with equipment.
Right.
So-
of course. We couldn't do this now.
Yes.
This is a future question.
Yeah. I will say, I'm kind of coasting off the 30 Arcana check that you did to investigate the DNA of the ship, so I will let this one ride a little bit and say you know that you absolutely could take it apart. And melding it with another ship is definitely going to be difficult. But
we could do it. Imagine.
yeah. Will you actually? We
don't
roll an
need two
Arcana check
ships.
real quick for one thing, and I swear to God, if you roll a natural 20, I'm gonna be proud of you and happy because I'm not really that upset with this one.
It's not a natural 20. It is going to be...
Dirty 20.
Yeah.
It's not a dirty 20. It's 24.
Dirty 20s are nothing to Urist. Are you kidding me? A dirty 20?
Nothing.
Yeah,
That's
he's
like
got
me rolling a
5.
5.
Yeah. So, damn, now I forgot the thing that I was going to give you with
Oh,
this.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's my fault. Where were we? Taking apart a non-Lloyd. Wow, I truly have
Taking
lost
apart
it.
the Nautiloid, upgrading the Dinger, and you were talking about the
No,
the
I got
Arcane
it.
code.
Yeah, thank you. Is that your connection with this helm is arcane in nature. It is still, although the ship has this weird level of mind flareness to it, the helm is still an arcane helm. And it has this connection to the larger thing, these like other seats down there, which those seem to be more linked with psionics. But the helm itself is made in a very similar fashion as the helm that you found, as not the Dinger's helm because it is a sentient helm, but it seems clear to you that it was just made like many other spell jamming helms, although it like looks cool and has this kind of like mind flare add-on. It is still
It's
just a
connected
spell
to
jamming
like
helm.
the Mind Flare Wi-Fi.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
Flamey Bro is the
Okay.
yeah.
So it's not entirely dissimilar in a lot of ways from a regular Spelljammer, is what I'm getting.
Yeah, so if like that says to you, if you took this helm off and disconnected it from the Nautiloid, you could probably reconnect it to a different ship.
We already have a spare helm down in the hold.
We do.
Klik.
True.
Got us a spare.
What about hooking up a different helm to the Nautiloid?
Seems possible. Yeah.
All right. There's many things are possible. This is a miraculous.
We gotta get to a chop shop.
It's a miraculous thing we found. We've got a lot of
What
exciting
about
prospects.
getting 2 more ships and then getting them together into one giant Voltron?
I'm
that we
100% on
Yes.
board with this.
Andrew texted me about that after last session. He was like, "We could
yes.
all have ships, Harlan. Do you know that?" I'm like, yes, Andrew, I do know. As I'm like scribbling notes, like I know.
I was chatting with Jordan about our custom ships. Like
yeah,
a
we
cool
we were talking
moon-
about it.
Little moon ship. Oh, it's
That's
gonna be
that's
good.
no moon.
Yeah.
Skiff.
The moon
It
skip.
actually is. It's a moon ship, but you know what I mean.
Catamoon ran. I will say the Moonboy, after talking to these fish folk, gets on the horn and he's like,
Yeah, this is Starman. We're going to need to set up a watch out here. I don't think the the refugees that we just freed from the mind monsters are up for a full shift, if you know what I mean. So I brought them some food, and if you could make sure that their brains stay inside their head for now, I'm
The
sure
fish people?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
They don't think that someone's their new god, do they?
Well,
Oh, what a time that was. Never again, I said. Never again. Rather die, I said.
one way to find out. Over and out. Okay, he says that we will set up a watch, I say to them, and may the... what is it? What do we call him? The sinker, or whatever the sinker told you, be with you.
And he casts his bless on them again. And we'll leave.
But are they asked to be able to come sleep on the dinger? Or
Yes.
That's cool?
I think when I mean, is that cool? That's what I was.
Could we pitch shifts maybe? Like
That's
Moonboy
what
and I
I'm
could go
saying.
sleep under the amulet, and then these fish folk can go sleep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally. I mean,
Oh,
they're
God.
They're definitely down with that.
Oh, I forgot about that. No, we all have to sleep under the amulet.
That's why I said shift and shifts. Klik doesn't have to sleep. K.A.I doesn't have to sleep.
Yeah, but they need their brains inside the amulet. That's how we got
I have
detected last time.
I'm actually. I have a ring of mind shielding still
Okay.
from way back in the day when we were hiding from mind flayers on Mungabwe.
Okay, so Moonboy.
I think only you and I have to worry about it at the moment. I mean, and
Moonboy-
the other NPCs, but
Klik has a brain,
She
but
doesn't
Klik
sleep.
doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
but
What we're worried about is the Lord Powerface, right?
I'm worried about Lord Powerface, but also now about these scouring.
Yeah, but we
nautiloid
can't.
ships
There's
that
literally
seem
not
to
enough
be able to
room
sniff out brain
for
thoughts.
every. There's not enough room under the amulet
We
for
are
every
going to
single person.
cram everyone into the helm, and we're going to have a big camp out because we're in freaking Illithid dungeon, Windrider.
Sleepover.
Exactly.
And yeah, he's gonna turn to these fish folk and go,
Actually, yes, you're sleeping on the ship. Come back with us to the ship.
Yeah. I mean, the Kreen don't sleep either, so
Yeah.
the
They're
4 other Kreen.
yeah. They're just like stoked to chat with you all night.
but didn't
I'll turn to Gluck and say, "You gotta see this. They all get in a weird little pile and they all just turn off."
or
Look,
It's
like,
bizarre.
It's crazy. It's crazy. When I was traveling out, I thought my whole crew was dead for a while.
No, every night they do this. And they have to protect themselves from some guy in their sleep? I don't understand.
You let a man on your ship during sleep, says one of the aunties. In Gluck is
Oh,
like, yeah, Rabakosh. And you learn that their names are Auntie Rabakosh and Auntie Shucked. And Gluck is like, yeah, they have to worry about it in their heads, right? That's what you told me, Klik, that in their heads a man shows up?
Yeah, it's crazy. He just like took over their brain while they were sleeping. I don't know. They said they were dreaming. I guess Klik just thinks dreams are when somebody else takes over your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be
kinda
pretty
the only
creepy.
knowledge
I'd be
she has of
really
dreams.
unnerved to hang out with people who
Yeah.
needed to fall down and turn off for a while.
So it's like it's like telepathy, but it's just images that you think of and you don't have control of them?
As far as I know. And they're unresponsive as a person, completely open to attack. They're completely vulnerable. Look at this.
Yeah.
Just poke one of them while sleeping.
Yeah, Rel, like the gunner, is in a hammock and you poke him, and like you open the door and poke him, he just like falls out, and he's like, oh!
Moonboy's kind of blasting this over the horn. He's like,
Okay, having just remembered that Illithids smelled our brains last time, we're all going to sleep in the helm. So everyone with a brain who thinks, get into the helm and you'll be safe from
can-
things smelling your thoughts.
I can try to keep a watch while everyone is down there, since I have brain camouflage.
Yeah, Goliath's gonna meet you at the door, Moonboy, to his cabin and be like, ugh.
I think there's like 15 people with me. Like,
Yeah, just
We're all
real
here.
quick.
Hello.
Just real quick, we've got Goat, the Goliath bosun, Cobble, the
this is the montage of me going to each of them and being like,
Bring your brain downstairs.
yeah, Cobble, the Kobold Navigator. You find the cabinet.
Cobble, Relic,
Yeah, Relic, who was already sleeping and you woke up.
Get up.
Green,
Yeah, they've got 3 Kreen.
Malzor,
4 Kreen.
the fish
4 Kreen.
people.
Also,
Yeah.
my man.
Yeah.
Forgot about
fish
Malzor
people.
again.
Knock on
Yeah.
the door. Knock, knock, knock.
Huh? He says that he's just like pulls his head out of a pot that he was like eating the dirt from. And he's like, what?
We also have 4 passed out dwarves that we have
Oh,
just
fuck.
tied up.
That's
Right,
nice.
I tied
Well,
their feet up.
You know,
Well, okay.
didn't
I
we
can
kill their
come
brains?
back.
I don't
Just a
think.
second.
I don't think they have brains. Their brains crawled out of their head.
Are they
And
s-
they're
Might
not
not have been
responding.
their brains though.
They were prisoners just as much as the Kreen or the fish were.
When K.A.I comes out of the helm, I mean the dwarves are all right there.
Yeah.
So I think Kai-I's gonna take a look at these dwarves.
Cool. I just want to also establish that the fish folks' name are Tuber, Fluber, and Goober.
I'm
As
writing
they-
it down.
And
As
they're all
they've
with
been all
me.
brought into this
Mango.
place, they introduce themselves as Tuber, Fluber, and
Absolutely.
Goober. Yeah.
In front of the captain.
We are all here to sleep in your super secret room with the hyper intelligent secret tech
Oh boy.
that you only told us about a week ago, and now we're here.
Moonboy, could we maybe not introduce all of them to the secret I've been carrying around for most of my life?
Okay, well, if you want everyone's brains to get eaten, I guess we'll all just go sleep on the deck. Eh, Captain?
No, we could make it all of us. I don't want to introduce all of them to Dingomnidris. Maybe we could. Dingomnidris isn't gonna get. He doesn't sleep, so maybe.
You don't
you know,
think
I
that
can come
mind
out here and
flayers
then
have a
we
way
could.
to detect the deep thoughts that Dingomnidris is thinking in there right now? That thing thinks like a steel drum across the galaxy.
All right, I'd
Steel
love to
drum
have
is
you
a little bit more of a tropical vibe than I meant, but you get what I'm saying.
Could you mind like a steel drum?
Like a big, loud drum. Pretty dope impression, Klik.
Yeah.
Keep it coming.
All the other Kreen pop in and are like,
Please let us in.
to me.
Moonboy, I'd love to have you roll a persuasion check
I
in
would
contest
love
with
to
the
do it.
captain here.
Okay. I'm on, as one might expect, the complete wrong page. So just give me a second here.
Well, the captain got an 11.
Okay.
That's
Coming in.
AC.
Not very persuasive, but I will say the moon is with him, and I think he casts guidance on himself before doing this.
Cool. There's
Persuasion.
a glow of moon energy around you, and you roll up your moon sleeves.
His hat fell off. It rolled a natural 1, and he catches it. Puts it back on.
Captain's like, I need to get to know these folks first. All right, let's all squeeze into the hammock room for at least the first night. And if we know that the mind flayers can detect Dingomnidris from that, and we'll know that this time.
Okay.
I feel like,
You have to come with too, though.
all right, I'll sleep
And
out
you-
here in the hammock.
And you
room
have
with
to bring the cowboy hat.
All right, which
And
one?
we want a story. So obviously your story hat.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Great. Yeah, he's gonna cram them all into the hammock room, and he's kind of sort of den mothering it a little bit, and somebody tries to get in his barrel probably, and he's like, "Hey, no."
Something I just remembered is we had talked about working through the night to get the ship repaired.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Everybody can't be in there.
Well,
Yeah.
the three Kreen are going to work through the night in Goat. So
So there's four Kreen,
But then there's
yeah.
no.
4 Kreen and
Point.
Goat.
Well, listen, it's
If
harder
they're not
to
sleeping, they're fine.
it's harder to smell 4 brains than it is to smell 16. I don't know.
Fair.
And yeah, he's kind of den mothering it a little bit, trying to like cram people into drawers and stuff, and like old hammocks.
Yeah,
And
there are
what
plenty of
have you.
hammocks in here. There's more hammocks than your crew, so
And
yeah. you could-
as soon as everybody's about ready to take a long rest, he sits in the middle of the room And I presume Goliathan tells some sort of spell jamming tale. And he's going to cast the shielding on this amulet. So as long as everybody is sleeping within this room, they have the effect of non-detection on them.
Okay. Cool. Wonderful. Real quick, just for fun, Andrew and or Moonboy and Flute are both in this room, and when Rachel gets back, she can determine what Klik is doing, kind of like in relationship. I since you don't sleep and you have other Kreen with you that don't sleep, maybe you will be with them and talking to them, but you can also be in the scene if you want to. But Goliathan kind of like huddles the group when you request a story. It's like, yeah, okay. Well, I'll tell you. Back when I was a young dwarf, I grew up on a kind of, it was like a planet, but it was all built. It was a whole place itself, and I dreamed of one day getting off it and getting off that big old ship that was our life and the place that we lived. And I spent all of my days just kind of doing the same thing and not being great at it, and just thinking my thoughts every day as I cleaned floors and kind of fixed up. I made buckets sometimes, and
Nice.
but the thing I had with me the whole time was my thoughts, and they guided me in a lot of good directions. And one of those directions was when I got to Damnedris, when I got to the helm that can talk, and I met him, and you reach a point in your life where you just know what to do sometimes, and even though it doesn't quite make sense, and even though it's a wild thing, you just learn to feel that moment and go and do it, and that got me off of that hell hole that I did not like being on, that ship that wasn't going anywhere. And instead I've gone all around so many places. I've been to a whole new world, and now I know all of you. And anyway, good night. That's my story.
That's the sort of story somebody tells right before they die.
Yes, it was pretty abrupt. Is everything all right? Goliathing?
Oh yeah, I was just trying to think of a story to tell. So that's my little story. It's kind of a big story because a lot happened over it, but
I think it's great that you got off of the planet. I wonder if there's a place out there where people never get off of their planets. And they don't even know about the other planets. I feel bad for them.
yeah. I mean, I didn't know there were other worlds to go to until I met Damnedris. So
Don't worry,
And I left
Goliathan.
plenty of people behind.
We'll get you to Cowboy World someday.
What? I'm a dwarf, right? I'm not a cow.
That's... Oh, I thought because of the hat you're from some sort of cowboy dimension.
Yeah, it's a dwarf hat. It's my dwarven hat.
That is a cowboy hat, right? Am I crazy? That's a cowboy hat.
I mean,
I don't even know what a cowboy is.
Yeah. It is it's got the wide brim. It has the curled wide sides to it, but that's clearly a mark of a dwarven
Slightly
culture.
different.
He looks so confused at you.
The lights start flashing. Anachronism detected. Anachronism detected.
Guys being influenced by the ship. And
My voice is this now. Oh no.
Soothing.
And so, but yeah, I just wanted to. You said Goliath, can you tell us a story? And I was like, okay, I could probably pull some out. So,
love
and does anyone else want to do anything before they go to sleep? Flute, Klik, what do you have plans for? It doesn't have to be something. You can just call it a rest.
She'll turn to the aunties and just be like, is there anything more you can tell me? Is there anything we can prepare for? I can't seem to work out how we beat this enemy.
One of the fish folks said you have a god on board, so that seems easy.
He rolls very high. But I wouldn't call him a god necessarily.
Okay. Well, one of the other end, he says, I'm gonna waltz into that Elder's Chamber, and I'm just gonna kick their ass. I know it didn't work last time, but I think that's the solution. Is I'm just gonna kick their ass. They're causing problems.
Just kill the elders? Is it as simple as that?
I mean, I'm gonna kill the elders. Just me personally, all of them.
Oh.
They, you know.
Oh, well.
You know.
Has your warrior skills gotten significantly better since you left the planet last?
You watch it, young lady. Just because you can jump real good doesn't mean I can't throw a claw at you.
Well, I can't promise anything, but we'll do our best.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean,
we can raise up some of the Kreen when we get there, some of the people, and they can help.
Gluck starts. He kind of like goes, huh, and Kalatoon looks over to him and is like, "No, that's true. We can't." She's like, "Gluck, you didn't see it. You were gone, but there are people who want to help us there, and we can find them because we know in our hearts that what they are doing is wrong. There's no cost, there's no threat to this world big enough to destroy the people you love and their memories." And they kind of like shrug and look over at Calic, like both of the aunties like look at Kalatoon and are like, she's right. And Gluck kind of just like shrugs but nods his head.
Yeah. I just hope we're strong enough.
Oh, you're so strong. Look at her. You look how big you are. Your arms are so big. Both the aunties are on either side of you now. Like, yeah. And look at you. Look at this weapon. This is not a Kree. Look how. This is made recently. They're both like, ooh, look, it's good. One of them touches the end and the fire goes off, and it's like, oh!
Klik gets a little touchy and hisses them away. It's new.
Goat is like putting boards up on the ship by herself and just making her eyes really wide and clearing her throat. She's like, gotta get this ship done.
Helping.
Oh, yes. And then all of them go over together, and Kalatoon pats you on the back, and she's like, it's gonna be good. We the elders don't know what they have coming from for them. It's you know. Who cares what groups they've got? You guys got a good group here.
We're all right.
Cool. And does anybody else have anything they want to do for the end of the night?
K.A.I's got some stuff.
Okay, cool. Go for it.
After emerging from the helm, K.A.I wants to, first of all, immediately take a look at these poor dwarfs.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I skipped past that part.
It's okay.
Yeah, they are tied up. They are alive. They are breathing. Their eyes are wide open. Their heads are kind of like lulled to the side. One of their arms is like weirdly laying across its chest as Flute had to like move him to tie him up.
Cool. I don't know exactly how I would go about doing this, but I want to figure out what is going on with them and how, if at all, we can try to help.
Yep, you can do a medicine check, absolutely. Oh, don't have that plus 10 to Arcana anymore, do you now, Aaron?
Well, no.
He probably has something almost just like it.
I've never been more of a bully in D&D in my life.
It's an 18.
Okay, with an 18, you still
Fail.
know.
An 18 is a fail.
No, just kidding.
You still get to know that it seems like their consciousness is just completely gone. So all of their body functions are totally working and are normal. They just don't have sentience. So their intelligence has been devoured.
Oh, so
It's terrible.
wow.
Do I think that it's possible to help them?
Now you can roll an Arcana check. Wow, I felt bad for you. I don't know.
It's a
I'm
sad
both
one
on
to,
your team.
to fail.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
You're not a cleric. You put arcane things together. You enchant objects with magical items, and you understand people better through cooking. But you don't have a fleshy body, you know. You don't have the connection with healing that this would take because it is very involved. So you just, you know, in real life, my dad, some of the best advice he ever gave me in my life was, when you don't know something, go ask someone who does. And you know that you would need to talk to a cleric about this.
Sure. Well, feeling confident. Sorry, I need to fix my camera. Sorry, everyone. Feeling confident that these dwarves are not going anywhere. K.A.I is going to make sure there's nothing explicitly dangerous in that desk down below that's going to kill us all in the night, and then, assuming that goes okay, head back over to the ship where everyone is.
Okay, cool. Roll an investigation check as you check these dwarves out and go down
the
into
desk
that
with the
room.
dwarves. Oh no, I see.
Yeah.
Maybe. $25.
Wonderful. As you come up to the desk, you can see one single, like, curled character from this Mind Flayer language, and it is, as you look at it, your brain quickly does the math there, and it is just, you hear whispered inside of your head, open, and like two cabinet doors of this stone-looking arch that is a Mind Flayer desk on either side of the tip of the horseshoe of this shape, open like this, and you see inside, one of them, like, cool air comes out, and you see 4 brains hung on, like, rope, and this seems to be a refrigerator, a cooling space for food, and there are other, like, you know that, like, from the boxes and that were, like, blown up upstairs, you know there are other ways for Mind Flayers to still get sustenance. So these are like the captain's private store of delicacies, basically. And in the other one, there is another of those glass pods, and you can see a piece of fabric is draped over it, and you can tell it's a glass pod because it's like the fabric is a bit see-through, and it's draped over it, and you can see the shape and you recognize it, and there is like this glass element to it, but you can't quite see what's inside of the glass jar.
Sure. Bessner, my familiar mechanical hummingbird, will sort of flit out from the little compartment inside of my body that he lives in, and
What? Sorry, I did not know that Bester lived inside of a little, like, arm nest.
yeah, when he probably in my
Sorry?
chest or something. When he needs to
love it.
sleep, when I'm not using him.
Does it
I
come
don't
out of
know,
your
technically he
heart?
goes to like an extra dimensional space and just appears, but whatever.
Yeah, that can be
Bessner is going to appear, and using his little tools, he's going to grab hold of the fabric and just pull it aside.
Yeah, he's just gonna over it and pulls up the fabric. And you see this jar is not full of liquid. It does not have things swirling around in it. It just has a small bit of liquid on the bottom. And when the cloth is pulled up, a bit of the liquid pulls itself up in kind of like an arch, like a snake. But it just moves up and it kind of like looks around the glass a little bit as like a pseudopod off of the liquid that's at the bottom here. And it kind of like whips its head around this way and that way. And it has a silvery sheen to it. In the top of the pseudopod that is up here is like looking around, and it catches sight of you. Or at least Besner that is in front of it, and it's just kind of like following it around the edge of the jar as Besner flits this way and that way.
Interesting. First of all, I'm going to lean in and sort of adjust my rotating eye. I guess I don't need to actively adjust it. It just does it. My eye sort of magnifies, and I'm going to examine this thing visually.
Sure. What are you looking for?
I want to identify it. I guess there's a way to do that. I'm going to reach out my hand, and a small compartment opens, revealing a small pearl, and it glows, and a circle of light appears around the base of this jar and illuminates it, and I'm going to cast the spell Identify.
You get a strong surge of transmutation magic that from the liquid that is like moving around and reacting to Besmer.
That's all I get?
Yep, it is not a magical item.
It's not a magical item. Okay, I was afraid of that.
Well, I mean, the jar is magical, like, so you get a little bit of like the jar doesn't have any effects to it, but it was like crafted with the same thing that you saw before, but it is just like a glass container.
Understood. Yeah, so I'm just going to try to figure out what this is.
Roll a history check.
History. Ooh. 27.
As it follows Besner around, Besner goes to the top of the jar a little bit, and it stretches itself up and out. And as it does, it stretches itself into a silvery cord. And as it moves itself around the jar, you can see it is not a liquid. Well, it is, but it's thicker than that. It's more of an ooze. As it starts to click in your brain, and you recognize the silvery cord. You see this again as a creature that you have seen before. The compatriot of your crew, who you affectionately named Janice, as she referred to herself as the droplet pool for the pool, the ooze that could ingest beings and then take on their shape, but had to remain in her own form some, and was connected to her that little bit of a form that's still held by a silvery cord. And this pseudopod that sticks up from this tiny little bit of ooze looks just like that silvery cord. And in fact, when Besner flies away for a second, you see the end of the silvery cord changes into a tiny little rat. And there's just like all of a sudden there's like a rat in the jar, but you can see off the side of the rat is this silvery cord that connects to the ooze at the bottom of the jar as well. So it seems like to you that whatever this creature inside of the jar is the same type of creature that Janice is as well. And
another droplet pulled from the pool.
Yeah, it is not her. It is
right.
The same creature.
Understand.
Yeah, the same type of
It's a
creature.
carnage to her venom.
Yeah, Kai's going to sort of take the
Carnage.
Kai's going to take the piece of cloth and look at this ooze and sort of just hold a moment of regret over what transpired with the entity we knew in the past as Janice Droplet, who killed one of our friends and then escaped through a portal.
Super did.
And Kai will recover the jar.
Cool. All right, and I think that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. So, oh boy, I was like,
Man, oh man.
I was like, we're so ready to just leave it there, and you will never see it, and never touch it. So, but when Aaron, you were like, I'm gonna go check out the desk. I was like, okay, whew, all right, we're gonna do this scene then. So, good game, everyone.
Good game.
Sick.
Boy, I would like to say we are once again ending at a long rest, so I'm going to be building a Moonboy spellbook at some point this week, so come help me out because we got some situational spellcasting coming up. We need to figure out what we're going to do when these other two nautiloids show up.
Yeah.
So
We got problems on the horizons.
Mm-hmm.
And you're headed toward the Palace of the Skull Goblin King, right? Tomorrow?
Yeah.
I think that was like the plan before everything. So.
Hell yeah.
All right, great. Can't wait to make you draw some goblins, Jordan.
Can't
That's
wait.
fun.
I'm literally already, as soon as you said that, I was like, okay, Skull Goblin, what's a Skull Goblin look like?
Hell yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks everybody so much for hanging out here. We have a cool, fun new thing that I want to talk about before we do our regular announcements. Is that somebody already noticed because somebody already snagged one, but we have new cool merch up on our web store. That is I wish I don't have a picture of it to flash on screen here. Sorry, in case I messed that up. But we'll have it at the beginning of next stream, and you can click this link right here that's in chat, and if you're watching this on YouTube, it's down there below, and see the very cool all sauce shirts that Andrew designed. They look so cool. There's a lot of different options of different things you can buy with this all sauce label on there. And Aaron, will you tell everyone if anyone is joining us now and does not know what the all sauce is? Will you give everyone a quick little this is what it is?
Yeah. The all sauce is Kai's chief culinary, I would say creation, but it's more of a discovery. It's the all sauce is achievement is sort of thesis work as a culinarian, as a gastromancer.
Incredible.
The all sauce is a sort of strange condiment that Kai developed basically with arcane mathematics. It's the result of many grand equations,
Exotic
and flavor
profiles.
profiles. Yeah, exactly. It's and so the all sauce is the result of that. It's this interdimensional flavor entity.
And you use them
ultimate
to
deliciousness.
make some ice cream recently, right? Those
did.
things, yeah, which is good. Seems like it's going to come up with the Skull Goblin Kings, the Palace of the Skull Goblin Kings.
It tastes like everything, as I recall.
Well, yeah.
Sort
So
of
there's
an undefinable, delicious substance beyond our understanding.
and there are T-shirts for that.
It's incredible. Great
that-
job, Andrew.
yeah.
It looks like
So
it
good.
fully looks like the label on a bottle in your fridge or something. It's just
that's
glowing
great.
and vibrating.
But cool, yeah. What else do we have to talk about here at the end?
That's all I had.
Yeah, big
Make
thanks.
sure you're not following if you aren't already, or you are following if you. Please follow the channel. Jesus.
Please, we need it so much.
I'm broken. We're at 950 followers. We would love to get to 1,000. So hit follow
Yeah.
if you are not already.
Totally.
Yeah.
And we're on
Kick it
YouTube,
in our
so
Discord.
subscribe.
Yeah, come
subscribe
hang
on
in the Discord.
hang in the Discord, subscribe on Twitch. That helps us a bunch. Subscribe to us on YouTube. That also helps us a bunch. The more people do click the buttons on all the websites, specifically subscribing on YouTube, smash that like and subscribe
Yes.
button.
Smash
Yeah,
that
'cause
like,
it helps
and then
us.
also,
And it
Especially if
doesn't
you're a
subscribe
horse. Smash it.
really
Yeah.
trying to
Of
expand our
horse.
horse audience.
Yeah.
That's the next merch item is bead of horse.
Also, if you can't do any of that, just tell your friends. Tell your friends that there's this goofy show, and they should come watch it.
Yeah, because it truly does make a difference. I think that's a thing that, like, I know like and subscribe is a joke, but like it also really does make a difference that if you subscribe to the videos and like them, because we have been making the show for like a year and a half, and we want to keep doing it and keep making sure people check out the show. And it shouldn't just have to be you. You should be able to argue with people about Janice, not just us. So yeah. So, but. Thank you, everyone, for all that you do outside of that. And that's it. Thank you to Case Dreary of Tiger Moon Productions, who does the wonderful stream art, who pulls up all the awesome images that Jordan Dahl makes, that Joshua Smith of Every Map of Story makes, and to Jason Wardell, who is live soundtracking the show. He improvises a score to our chaos every week. It's amazing. Thank you for being here. And that's it, right? Anybody else have anything?
I think that about does it
Cool.
for
All right.
another episode of Better Than Heroes.
Better Than Heroes. Okay, we'll see you next week. Thanks, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Stargazer, Moonboy, Klik, the Crusher, K.A.I, Humbly Chef, and the Windrider, Flute, Whimteaser. They're better than heroes. They'll never be zeros. Better than heroes.